5, 6, walking forward. Not yet. Go!
That's
awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Sean's face is awesome right now.
So is my belly full of coffee. So is Reuben's room. Reuben's room. That's a great name for a sitcom.
Reuben, somebody once said I should have a sitcom called That's So Reuben. And I actually started writing it. I don't know.
You should, get some people around you that are really good looking that can take you places.
I think Reuben's Room would be a great name for like a Playboy After Dark type show.
Ooh, I love After Dark. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With some saxophone and some of that, like, humping that's, like, not really, like, it's like the torsos are, like, 8 inches away from where they actually should be.
I'd be all like, and welcome to Reuben.
Yes. Yes. Show some leg on the net.
It'll be like Pops's 1960s commercial that we're gonna go over today.
Do I need to like start not saying the F word as much? I don't know who our core audience is, but man, I love Pops.
Pops is great. And this is, we're talking about season 1, episode 12 of the Goldbergs, You're Underfoot. The thing I thought was really cool about this episode is it's a Pops Murray episode, and we really don't get many of those.
Yeah, I was digging it. There's so many ways they could have gone too. I'm surprised they went a couple of the ways that they did, but it was definitely, what would be the word? I don't know. Educational. We learned a lot about the relationship between Murray and Pops.
And we learned a lot. We learned a lot about furniture sales and how to sell furniture.
I took a lot of notes. Yes.
How to sell furniture?
Yeah, in the pre-Pilates world, apparently, as they were telling us in the beginning.
Yes, so we're going to jump right into it. Our opening narration, as Sean alluded to, is back in the 80s before Pilates and macrobiotic diets.
Oh, those people were so annoying back then in the late 80s, early 90s. They were macrobiotic restaurants, and people were so arrogant back then with if they ate macro. Oh, God.
What is a macrobiotic diet?
I think everything had to be all locally sourced and prepared a certain way. But I think it all had to be within a certain mile range, if I'm not correct.
So that sounds like that sounds like people in Brooklyn.
Yes. It was pre-Pilates, pre-Brooklyn.
Was it an old thing to be macrobiotic?
Was it old? No, it was like young. It was super young, like rich people.
Okay, because the opening narration continues that old people were old except for Pops, and we go back to the we see a few clips back at the racetrack. He gambles at the track. He takes shots of tequila and he kicks Adam's ass at ping pong.
Yes,
and that's all the ways Pops stays young.
There was a couple of inconsistencies in this, which really bothered me about Pops. I was a big fan of Pops' money sweatsuit that he was rocking when he was kicking Adam's ass at ping pong in the garage. The greens. Oh man, that was money. But we'll see throughout the episode that like there was stuff that Pops shouldn't be wearing that he normally wouldn't wear, and I was like, was Pops having an off day or something? I mean, there was some cool stuff, but I don't know. I'm starting to think that I can rock some of Pop's styles.
Are you gonna go 80s shopping?
Well, he had more of a 70s. Like he was a little behind. Like he was more retro in the 80s. Like he was stuck in like a late 70s kind of style with the big collars and the kind of flared pants. And I think I can start rocking that now. A lot of Midwestern hep cats, when I was growing up, we rocked the old man style a lot. Like that's a very Midwestern thing, I think, is like cool kids would dress old, like have a pork pie hat or a fedora with, like a light blue shirt slacks with like, kind of like old head cat. I don't know.
What is with old people in tracksuits?
Is that a myth? I don't see that many old people in tracksuits. I never have in my entire life, really. I mean, in Brooklyn you do. I mean, that's a different old though.
Maybe it was just an 80s thing. Like, what did your grandparents wear?
Never, ever, ever wore a tracksuit. But my grandmother wore leisure wear, which was kind of little sporty polyester, like zip up stuff.
Okay.
But great grandparents, no, they wore like Oxfords and nice house dresses and but I like how Pops was like, what was it? Adam wanted to let him win. He's like, that wouldn't be a good lesson to learn. I'm just gonna beat your ass real quick. Pops, I look forward to destroying kids in games when I'm older. Just whip their ass.
Get a ping pong table and a tracksuit. I think you're good.
I want a ping pong table for my roof really bad. Right now would be perfect, but it's also I don't know, touching a ping pong right now with a person.
Oh, I have a whole different opinion about it, but
I kind of do too, but I don't know.
Anyway, in the kitchen.
Heavy.
I know. What has this Goldbergs episode done to us?
It reminds me of her name because I've never heard her called Bevy before. Ever.
Oh, the dominatrix was named Bev?
No, Bev in the Murray calls her Bevy.
Yeah, there was something fun about the pacing of the scene that I really like all the back and forth, all the stuff. Here, there's so much, and all this is oozing of delicious 80s-ness. Can I take a minute to point out all the 80s-ness?
Yeah, I only caught a couple, but...
Okay, so in the kitchen, Pops gets excited for Billy Joel tickets and has to call for the tickets.
He's got a guy.
Do you remember? You don't do that anymore.
He had a broker.
Yeah. Do you remember you had to call for tickets?
I used to camp out for tickets. I never called. We called once when we were at the wrong venue. We camped out overnight for Iron Maiden tickets. And then the doors opened up. They're like, we're not selling them at this venue. So my buddy had to get his credit card out and call Ticketmaster.
That sucks.
Yeah, we still got like fifth row.
That's not bad. That's actually great. But what a waste of camping out outside of the venue.
That's fun.
Nice. So let's see what else. Barry is eating you definitely saw this, the Pac-Man cereal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is the first time we saw the Pac-Man cereal.
No, we talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, we talk about it.
Limited edition.
Here, something very dark was on the Pac. Did you notice what was on the Pac-Man?
Yes.
So dark.
Child find.
All the missing children.
What a shitty way to start your day. You're like, I'm going to bebop down, hang out with my mom, and then like, oh, these children might be dead or molested or worse.
Do you think there's like a mysterious subplot? So Barry had it facing him. Do you think he knew like some of the kids? Is there a mysterious subplot of Barry avoiding like the Jenkintown kidnapper?
Well, that's the other thing. I don't remember them being on cereal boxes. I remember them being on milk cartons. Right.
What is going on in this Pac-Man box?
A lot of missing children in the Goldberg era.
Yeah. This isn't an 80s reference, but Murray's other black sock, I just wanted to highlight that because the drawer is chaos. It's like the land of single socks. Honestly, I would 100% wear two different black socks that weren't the same sock.
I hate wearing two different black socks. But let's talk about how hot Bevy is in the hot aqua and white fuzzy sweater.
There's one outfit I wanted to point out from Bevy, but it's not this one.
Oh, there's so many outfits.
Okay.
It just caught me off guard. I laughed out loud twice because I watched the episode twice every week.
What was the outfit?
The later one or this one?
This one.
Oh, it's a hot aqua and white fuzzy sweater.
Okay. Was there anything on it? It didn't catch my eye.
It had a little bit of a print on it. The print, it was more of the fuzzy stuff. I don't know what it is. It's not like a perv thing. It's just something about those wispy, fuzzy 80s sweaters. Maybe it is a perv thing.
Speaking of hot, Erica's Walkman.
Boy? Her walk boy?
I think like the cherry on top of all the 80s in the scene is the Erica Walkman. With the yellow headphones. How badass.
That was top of the line.
I bet she was listening to it. Oh, wait. Do we know about Erica's New Kids on the Block obsession yet?
No.
Okay. I wonder what she was listening to. She loves New Kids on the Block. I just gave that away.
I took my cousins to see New Kids on the Block because my aunt and uncle didn't want to take them.
Okay, you're going to want to save that story for our New Kids on the Block episode.
I'll just talk about New Kids on the Block every episode.
Awesome. I bet you Erica was listening to Bon Jovi or Whitesnake. Per the two posters in her room.
Or Rick Springfield.
Just to look cool. That seems like an Erica thing to do. It's just
or Pat Benatar, because she did the Hit Me With Your Best Shot solo performance.
Oh, that's true. Pat Benatar.
Pat Benatar. So stupid. Why is that so good?
So anyway, Erica, Barry leave for school, and Pop says, "Screw it, I'll get a scalper for the Billy Joel tickets."
Let's roam around bad neighborhoods until we find a scalper. Oh my god, that's
dude,
so great.
My dad used to take my brothers and I to football games, and we would never buy tickets. He would always buy them from scalpers.
I scalped tickets to Jane's Addiction, and I made a lot of money. I could have made more. I should have upped my game, but I just targeted like white yuppie people who were, because I was a huge Jane's Addiction fan, and I saw as soon as Lollapalooza happened, I saw the spike in yuppiedom takeover of Jane's Addiction. So I was just like, I'm gonna gouge these motherfuckers.
It's always the white yuppies that like co-op some cultural shift.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what Jane's Addiction wanted.
Jane says,
"You see my way around."
I never got too into them. Anyway, so Bev proposes that Murray takes Pops to work because Pops is underfoot. And I finally figured out, you know when you were like, I don't know what who you're going to telephone meant until you watched the episode? I didn't understand what you're underfoot meant until I watched this episode. I never heard that expression, you're underfoot. I got it right away, but yeah, I don't remember. I don't even know what would be a similar term. You're a burden. It means you're a burden. He's becoming a burden. Well, it's that, like she said, every time I turn around, you're right there. And yeah, you're a nuisance. Yeah. Just get out of the house. Get out of the house. Get away from me. And Murray and Bev's fight is they can have an entire fight inches from you in complete silence. And then the look. And that's when Murray's like, I give in. Pops, come to work with me. Al, Pops, what are you going to call him? Yeah, Pops is like, I don't know how else I can say that. I really don't want to go. I don't mean to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, I'm not. So Murray goes in, he takes Pops to work, and then once again, we're at the Ottoman Empire. Yes. Murray has can we just, before launching into like what Pops ends up doing, why does Murray has such a bad streak when he brings in his family members to the Ottoman Empire? Yeah, it's his clubhouse. It's his get away from his family place. Yeah, but he brought Barry there a few episodes ago, and Barry like won like almost ended up owning the place because he was so good at sales. Also, it's revealed that in this episode that Pops was the former owner of the furniture store and hired Murray, then Murray took it over. I don't know if that detail's been revealed yet.
Yeah, it's we'll talk a little bit more about percentages later. No, let's talk about Pops. What's going on with his outfit? He's all schlubby. He's got like these suspenders that are holding up these polyester brown slacks that are over his. Looks like he has this giant like beer belly. He's got these like terrible shoes on. This baby shit brown jacket with like it looked like a dirty shirt on. I was like, I think maybe Pops was just having an off day and just happened to go out looking like that.
Well, when Pops gets to the Ottoman Empire, his whole world is thrown through a loop. It's changed so much. They use computers, and he says, "What is this? The Star Wars?"
The Star Wars. What happened to Sheila the redhead?
With the nice gams.
Gams.
I was like, wow, that is a really pervy move.
Yeah, and then the other guy that works there, the comedian guy, he said, "You guys have never seen my gams," and Murray was like, "Softball." So it's like, so Murray was checking out his legs. What is up with that?
Do you think gams are legs?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought gams were breasts.
No, gams are like thighs.
I had no idea.
I always thought when I was growing up that gams were boobies.
That is a very outdated term.
Super outdated. I use it every once in a while, but that's just as comedy fodder.
Right. So, yes, as you said, Vic is back. We get reintroduced to Vic, played by Cedric Yarborough, and his impeccable Jerry curl. But I had a really smooth transition. I screwed that up. I just want to put, the computer looked like a freaking microwave. What was with that computer?
That was definitely a PC back then.
When did you get your first computer?
We had this garbage thing that you hooked up to your TV. I think it was made by Texas Instruments, and it didn't really do anything. I think it played like a game or two, and you could program something in DOS, but it was more of a calculator. I'm trying to think. I didn't really have a computer until the 90s. We worked on computers in the 80s at school, but that was late to the game with that.
Yeah, I think I always grew up with a computer, if I'm not mistaken, or at least we had them in my house. I don't know. It wasn't. I didn't sit there and say, "What is this? The Star Wars?"
Yeah.
So Vic is back, and then we get Dana Caldwell's back. Adam's first love.
Dana Caldwell.
With the red hair and the freckles.
And To Kill a Mockingbird.
I see what Adam's going for. I can see the appeal of this. I'm not a perv, but I can see Adam's interest. I bet she's over 18. Guarantee it. Anyway, so
in real life?
Yeah, probably. They're always older than they are on the show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna burst your bubble. Ralph Macchio, I think, was like 22 when he filmed The Karate Kid.
Oh, that's right. He looked like he was 14.
Yep. I think he was played a 14-year-old. Oh, I started Cobra Kai. It's so good.
Is it? I saw it on my feed. I was gonna check it out. The ad for it looks so stupid, like something I would watch for sure.
It's really silly, but it's a good show. Anyway, so Adam, as you said, Dana's got to read To Kill a Mockingbird, so Adam takes the opportunity to invite her back to his room to get the Cliff Notes edition of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Because they're gonna do it in 7th grade. I thought I was gonna do it when I was in 7th grade when I went to a girl's house.
Oh yeah,
stupid me.
You're
stupid.
At that age, your hormones are in overdrive.
Yeah, I ended up in a place that I shouldn't have. It was gross.
I was dry humping everything I could.
It was the first time I French kissed, and it was horrific.
So
I could throw up right now.
So yeah, Adam is smooth with this To Kill a Mockingbird Cliff Notes. He's like, I got it in my room. And speaking of
she's like, okay. Gross.
So in Adam's room, there is magic and there is toys, and let's be honest, Sean, Adam is the coolest kid on the planet Earth with all this stuff. Were you not jealous?
I was a little jealous, which I'll go into a little more later. But yeah, I had a ton of stuff. I didn't keep it in my room though. I don't think.
What did you collect? Like, what was your
Star Wars?
Nice. Oh, did you have like those cool like really famous toys?
I think I had the rare Jawa and like a rare C-3PO and a rare Chewbacca.
What'd you do with them?
We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm still angry.
Idiot! I don't know what you did, but I'm preparing.
Wasn't me.
So then we're back at the Ottoman Empire, and Al's got this great idea of the going out of business sale.
Yes. And he turns it into a hip lounge with smoke and coffee. Free smokes.
Free smokes. I would be in that furniture store every day.
Oh my God, I would have been smoking with pops and drinking coffee and
cognac.
Blowing up. Oh yeah, drinking cognac and blowing up the bathroom.
I know. I'm like, what generation? I'm thinking like, though, he ran a furniture store. What generation? Like, even in the 60s, they really like, hey, have a smoke and some coffee and buy a futon.
It was a weird. And then he's like, let's put on some jazz.
The coolest record player to ever exist.
Yeah. You know what's weird is this is kind of a weird twist. There was a big jazz resurgence in the 80s. Huge jazz resurgence. I became a jazz head and played a jazz band, and I eventually got rid of that. I'll just call it a disease, because I was such a jazz head that I worked at Jazz Standard in New York City, and I heard so much bad jazz that I'm almost not a jazz fan anymore.
Well, yeah, Herbie Hancock had a big comeback, right?
Oh yeah, Herbie was huge. Kenny G.
Ew. Kenny G.
He kind of led the way. But
did we talk about how Kenny G still holds the record for like the longest note ever held?
Yeah, because he could do the cyclical breathing.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I think it's a scam.
I think he was somebody said he was auditioning to be the new dial tone. But there's no dial tones anymore.
No.
Anyway, so it's sibling advice time. This is like one of the few times where like all three siblings are together to help Adam in some cause.
Yeah, that was new.
And Erica is very consistent. Nobody likes toys. You're 13. You're a man. Be an adult. You know? But Barry's vision of adulthood is so twisted and sick and hilarious.
Yes. And he preempts it with, it looks like a nerd bomb went off in here.
Barry swears, and this is how he's going to get Lexi Bloom. Chicks like waterbeds with samurai swords that hang over them.
Waterbeds. Oh my God. Those lasted about a minute.
Yep. And then he says, would you rather touch a boob or a Dinobot?
A Dinobot?
Do you know what a Dinobot is?
No.
So a Dinobot is part of I looked this up. A Dinobot is part of the Transformers universe. And if I could read from the Transformers wiki, the Dinobots are a rowdy, arrogant, lowbrow, disobedient band of warriors that some Autobots would rather scrap than deal with. Pretty biased reporting in that Transformers wiki. So they're dinosaur transformers, but they're in that universe. That's a Dinobot.
Oh, so would he rather touch boobs or okay?
Did you not get that? He said, "Would you rather touch a boob than a Dinobot?" And Adam thinks for a second. He's like, "Too late. You waited too long, man."
Yes, I did. I understood that it was definitely in reference to like some form of transformer or toy or something. I just didn't. I never got into the Transformers. I was just a bit after my time.
Did you get into Drakkar Noir? Because that's Barry's next thing.
I always hated that stuff. It always made me want to throw up. It would like get into the back of my mouth, like, and then like in my sinuses, it would just stay there.
Ugh, it sounds gross. Like Drakkar Noir, it sounds like really cheap fragrance.
Do you know what it? Have you ever smelled it?
Not that I know of.
They made candles in the early '90s that smelled like it too.
Did it smell that good?
No, I was gonna buy one for my apartment because I thought maybe it'd be cool because I knew this really hot woman who loved the smell of it, but she had a boyfriend who wore it. He was he was so gross. It smells like rotting Christmas spice. You know, like when you go to someone's house and they have like really cheap potpourri that they got at like Michael's or some craft shop.
Yep.
That's what it, but in spray form.
Ew.
Yeah, and it's really obnoxious, and it doesn't go away.
So Drakkar Noir was introduced in 1982, and it has since become the best-selling men's fragrance, I think, of all time. It's in in 2010, it was inducted into the Canadian Fragrance Hall of Fame.
What? Should I start wearing it?
I think we're past that point. When something's in a Hall of Fame,
start wearing Men's Obsession again.
when something's in a Hall of Fame, it's like retired and it's over. So
my friend who worked at the Bowery Hotel was bringing back CK1. I called him out on it too. He couldn't believe I called him out.
I don't know what that is.
It was a fragrance that came out. I guess it was marketed towards bisexual people.
Okay.
It was fragrance for men and women. Both could wear it. But everyone was like, that means you're bi. Like, it was so stupid.
It is stupid. Oh,
it's so dumb.
But Klein?
The only people I know who ever wore it were bi or gay, so.
So it must have worked.
Might have worked on me. Woo!
That's like, you know what? I think my generation's Drakkar Noir is Axe body spray.
Yes. Okay, imagine Axe, but a little more peppery.
Axe was awful.
Oh, I wore it because I came back from England and they didn't have body spray here. And in England, they had really nice body spray. That was a big thing. And it made you smell really good and like crisp. And over here, the Axe, I remember my friend getting so mad at me that I was wearing it. But also, Barry calls it, what? Drakkar Noir, the alluring stink. Chicks love the alluring stink. Oh, that stuff made me want to barf. Oh.
So later that night, Murray comes home and he feels nauseous because he smoked 2 cigars. I know the pain. And I only highlight this scene because this is the first time we hear of Bev's shrimp parm. It's a big deal. It's her signature dish. Bev, we know that Bev cooks like oil, like all the corn oil in the wok and the can of cranberry sauce. I couldn't think of it.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, I know the marshmallows. Just really, it's like whatever is the sweetest, most fattening part of the dish is the primary ingredient. Bev parms everything. There is no ingredient in the world that Bev will not put Parmesan cheese on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's her thing. She just parms everything.
Oh, and before he came home, there was a little chat at the Ottoman Empire, and in the back was a poster that said "Footrest Spectacular."
I didn't see
So
that.
they must have had like a sale on footrests. Footrest spectacular. I want to go to a place that's having a footrest spectacular and try out all the footrests, because it would. They're less. How many footrests do you need to have a footrest spectacular? There's got to be like 80.
I would say a foot massager would be a footrest spectacular.
That'd be really expensive back then, I bet.
Probably. Now you can get them for super cheap. I should get one. I should get a foot massager. That's a good idea. Thanks for putting that in my head.
Yeah, my feet are fucked up. I could definitely use one.
So Adam decides to get rid of the toys, and I drew a sad face in my notes for Adam getting rid of the toys, because of one of these toys is this kick-ass Alf doll.
My mom had that.
The little Alf plush.
My mom had that Alf doll, and you'd squeeze it, and it would say stupid stuff.
You know what I didn't mention is the reason Adam's getting rid of the toys is because Dana was in his room and left unexpectedly. I totally forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
Dana freaked out after Adam showed her the magic in the toys, and Dana was like, "I gotta go."
What?
We'll find out later why.
What?
We'll find out later why Dana left.
Yes, but if you notice, the magic was the gateway for him to kind of touch her a little bit. Like he brushed her with his magic. No, you did it too. We didn't even plan that grossness. And then he pulls a coin from her ear.
Mm-hmm. Adam's totally like, Adam is smoother than he gives himself credit for.
That was pretty damn smooth. And a little gross.
He's 13. Speaking of which, it takes him
I was so gross when I was 13. Ugh.
It takes him 5 trips to get rid of all the toys and Alf dolls. God, I freaking love that Alf doll. Did he get rid of the poster? Did he get rid of the Time Bandits poster? I'll take the Time Bandits poster.
Oh, I would totally take that Time Bandits poster. Later, I think we see that all of his stuff is gone. Everything, except his medals.
Yeah. So Adam decides he's going to take them all to Dana Caldwell. And I had a little pervy moment here. I'm not going to lie. So Bev says, take your jacket and your earmuffs. And Adam,
I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this.
So Adam says no, and then he steps back out, and he comes back in, and he says, all right, maybe I should take my jacket and my earmuffs. And Bev's like, ooh, your nose is pink like a little kitty cat. Meow, 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 meow. It was kind of hot. I
thought it was super creepy.
Oh, Adam's her little schmoopy.
Yeah.
And Bev is the smother. So, it's totally consistent with her character, but I was like, I don't know. Wendy McClendon-Covey was doing it for me there. I don't know why. I was like,
I think we have opposite things that Bev does for us, which is great. That's how you remain friends with people for a long time. It's like when like I have like maybe you have a taste for like a certain body type and I have a different body type preference. It's like, oh, but if we like always went for the same person and we were best friends, then it'd break up.
Interesting. I don't know. I like my girl's thick.
Me too. Damn it.
I'm thicker. I do.
Girl that can eat.
My ex was thick, and she's even to this day is like, was my weight ever an issue for you? And I was like, no, I loved it. It was really more cushion for the pushing.
Why do you think I took you out to dinner every single night and made sure I got you dessert?
Yeah, like we went to we had like chicken fingers and chocolate chip cookies every Friday, or pizza. Yeah, we both got really fat. I lost a ton of weight. We both have been losing a ton of weight post relationship. But I liked her big. I don't know I liked sleeping. She had a big butt.
Yeah, that's what I miss about the Midwest. Big girl. big corn-fed girl. Let's go out to get some fried chicken, girl. Let's
And
get some chicken fried steak. Go to a truck stop.
you gotta type. You're so gross.
Oh man, yeah. I miss that. It's not the same out here. I don't know.
So
I'm not going back to that, but
no, I like being the big spoon in that scenario. Like just pulling my girl tight while we slept and cuddled in her big tuchus.
there was one gal, I'll sidebar, that I went out with, and she was big, and I remember like looking in my bed one day, and she was like spread eagle, taking up the whole bed. I was like, oh man, there's a lot of woman in my bed. I was happy as a clam too. I wasn't mad. I was just like, that's a lot.
Dude, I know the feeling. Like I would see my ex naked, I'd be like, yeah, shit, that's a lot of woman.
Mm-mm. It's enough for two.
Hot in here. If she did the meow 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 to me, I'd be like, I'm there.
Oh, nice. That's what it is.
So Adam,
your little cosplay, animal play thing, weirdo.
Yeah, put the bed wig on her and be like meow 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 meow.
Wow, we are really getting to know each other.
So Adam takes the toys to Dana's little brother, and as he gets there and he's got his earmuffs on and he just immediately throws them. Like, oops, I don't want you to see me with my earmuffs on. But he needs
Why? Earmuffs are always cool. I didn't understand that. Maybe that was a masculine thing.
I don't know, man. Every time it's winter, I go, I need a pair of earmuffs, and I still have yet to buy them.
Me too.
Because my ears.
They always kind of fit weird. They never really. And then the rest of your head's cold.
I never had a pair of earmuffs. I got to get one, I think. Anyway, so also Adam says he's giving up his toy collection because I love this line. I need to clear room for my beard collection, cologne, and jock straps.
Yeah, that hit me in a weird way.
I just imagine his shelves like literally with like a Coors Light and a jock.
Yeah, totally like a old school like silver bullet. I think I should get plastic surgery so that my eyebrows stay like this.
No, don't do that. You look like Dr. Evil.
Or I look like I should be doing magic.
$1 million.
For my next trick, I'm going to make all my comedy disappear.
Then we get this big dispute at the Ottoman Empire. Pops' old furniture ad is the most sexist thing. Even in the 80s, Murray is like, we can't do this. Like, this is fun. Hey, ladies, put your vacuum cleaners down and listen up.
Oh, I missed that part. Even both times. I was so enamored with the cinematography of it.
He looked good. Al looked good with the mustache and like the I think he had a fedora on, right?
Yeah.
He was looking good. Big Al.
And then he said something about like with your husband's approval, of course.
So come on down to the Ottoman Empire and get a piece of furniture with your husband's signature, of course. When your husband comes home from a hard day at work, don't you want him to be comfortable? It's very sexist.
And then doesn't he kind of, then he doesn't snap, but he kind of motions to the woman to get him as brandy or something.
That was Sheila. With the big gams.
Yeah, she had some big gams on her. And then he kind of grabs her and puts her in his lap.
Yeah.
And she's like, because she still wants her job. Oh, God, it's so terrible.
I guess that's what he did back then. But this gives Al of inspiration for a new commercial in which he's crazy Al in the straitjacket. Vic is in love with Al at this point. He's charming. He's got charisma. He's got ideas. Vic is all about Al.
He's so crazy that he requires hospitalization. And the prices are bananas.
And there's a whole film, like, it's like a real, this is a real production. There's like PAs and everything on set. He can't go, he's the orderly.
But then we also find out that, like, I don't know if this comes up later, that maybe that Al is kind of losing his mind because someone recommends that maybe he go feed the pigeons. And he's like, feeding the pigeons sounds fun. I was like kind of an old person thing to do. I was like, are they just starting to maybe show signs of him slipping into old age?
Well, we talked about before how Al kind of has like the real Al died of dementia, and they kind of allude to it throughout the series. They kind of allude to
I didn't know that. That's totally what it is then. That's totally what they're referring to.
Remember in the first episode, he drove his car through the burger joint?
Oh, right. He had a little slip up.
Yeah, it happens. And that's why they told him to get rid of the driver's license.
Completely forgot about that. Maybe because I'm slipping.
Maybe we're all Al.
We're all going to be there one day.
So we finally get an Adam movie shirt, and I think it's pretty cool. So Adam's in his room lifting weights with this pretty neat Rocky shirt.
Oh, totally working his traps out with the, like, what, 2-pound weights?
2-pound weights. He's not even sweating either. And everything's gone. And Bev's like, you love your toys. I think we always talk about the parenting. I think Bev's pretty sensible in this episode, to be honest. Even though she goes a little off the rails. I honestly think like her, this is the one where it's like she's going off the rails, but like I agree with her ideas. Sort of thing. I agree with where she's coming from. Because Adam is 13. Let him have his toys. I had toys when I was 13.
She was rocking a really awesome blue and black patterned sweater with a gold brooch. My mom rocked the brooch a lot. Brooches were big in the 80s.
What was her brooch? I didn't catch it.
It was a really tiny, like, little flower brooch or something. But the sweater was dope. Because it had like a, I forget what you call those, kind of a drop collar, like a large sweater collar, like a hanging collar.
I think I know which sweater you're talking about because it's the same one where so Bev confronts Erica and Barry, who are watching Love Connection, I think.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's Love Connection. And Bev says, I'm going over to the house to get to Dana's house to get the toys back. And Erica says, you're gonna guarantee Adam is not gonna have a girlfriend. And Bev says he doesn't need a girlfriend, he has me. I mean, I'm his main girl. You know what I'm talking about. Super. But I think the Bev Barry Oedipus stuff is way creepier than the Bev, because like Bev's like, this is my baby. I don't know, man. I grew up with a mom just like Bev.
Yeah, she's totally free falling, talking about being the only woman that cares about him. And they're as grossed out as we were.
So she goes to the house, and this is my Bev fashion catch. The Clint Eastwood poncho.
Is that what that? I was trying to figure out what the fuck that thing was.
I saw that and I was like, Clint Eastwood or homeless lady.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, it just screams crazy. I mean, you could tell that thing was expensive as shit back in its day. Multicolored and fringy and
crazy comfortable. My God, I would have wore that thing.
I'd wear it right now.
It was like wearing a blanket.
I would, if I had that, I'd probably never take it off.
It looks super comfortable.
Even in the summer. Just be that weird dude on the train.
I should get a poncho. We should get ponchos.
My friend rocks a poncho. She looks amazing. I thought about making a poncho out of one of my blankets. I've got like 4 Mexican blankets.
So Bev fails to get the toys back miserably. It's like not even an effort at this point.
That was pretty terrifying. And what a kind of dumb kid. I want a turtle. Like, didn't he seem like kind of mentally disturbed a little bit, that kid?
I don't know. It was a weird comment. I wanted to, but I think I took that as like he was trying to extort Bev. Like, if you want these toys back, you get me a turtle.
Oh, I took it that way when I watched it the first time. The second time, it just seemed like a non sequitur.
Huh.
It was just like,
it was pretty weird, but
oh, you're just a weird kid. And then even like when you first see him, when he first starts to play with the toys, he just seemed like he had a little dumb in him. Just a little dumb kid.
He's way younger than Dana. He's like a 7-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so Beth fails, and we meet Dana's mom, embarrassingly. And then we get our mission of insecurity back at the Ottoman Empire. Pops is sick of feeling underfoot all the time, and he gives Murray the 2% of the store. Because Pops owns 51% of the store, we learn.
It's a big deal.
This kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, this doesn't feel earned. Like,
yeah.
Pops had this weird change of heart all of a sudden.
Yeah, after he'd been doing all the work.
Right. So we get our song.
Which I first thought, okay, I thought it was Jackson Browne. And there's another, I can't remember which Jackson Browne song. It was his #1 hit, but I think it was out at the same time as that Billy Joel song. So I wonder if like maybe Jackson Browne and Billy Joel were co-writing hit songs at that time. Go on your own life, leave me alone.
Are you thinking of Stay by Jackson Browne?
Maybe.
Really good cover of Stay. Or Running on Empty?
Yes, Running on Empty.
Running on Empty.
You're the one. Running on.
Can we just agree that Forrest Gump has like the best soundtrack in history?
Oh God, I haven't watched that in so long.
It's great. So It's My Life by Billy Joel from 1978. Ugh. Off his album 52nd Street. Why do they put 70s songs in a show about the 80s?
Because we were still listening to 70s stuff like it mattered. No, it was. I remember, well, like especially like radio stations were like, I don't know, because 70s was classic rock by that time already.
That's sad. I don't know. I don't even think I'm trying to. Well, I think they started playing Nirvana on classic rock stations. I don't know, like.
I remember when they fucking Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train was in a car commercial. I was crushed. Crushed. Because that was the most rebellious music at one point in time, almost. Like, I mean, that and punk rock, but.
It usually happens. Like, it'll be co-opted by the mainstream. And like like people are like, oh, like Blitzkrieg Bop like is in like I remember like Blitzkrieg Bop was in like a bunch of kids films when I was growing up, and I was like, and like learning how it was like so rebellious and different.
Like 20 years from now, is like Pig Destroyer going to be in like a Subway ad?
I don't know. I don't even know what Pig Destroyer is.
I'm starting to get into Pig Destroyer.
So Murray and Al hug it out, and Murray says, you can come by my office. I'll get you a desk next to mine. And Al's like, don't worry about it. And Murray's like, no, please. Walnut with teak interior. Don't cheap out on me.
I would kill for that desk.
I want to know what that looks like.
God, that would be amazing. I mean, I have a teak, I don't know what you call it, kind of cabinet thing. If you had walnut on the outside and teak on the inside, that would be so lush. There wasn't really, what does Murray say? I'm not really a hugger.
Yeah, but he relents and Murray hugs Al. Murray and Al hug it out. At least we know why now Al had a really successful furniture business. He seems to know what classy furniture looks like. We're supposed to be. So then Dana brings all the toys back, and we learn that Dana has a really cool Care Bears collection. And she ran out of the room because they were going to kiss, and she flipped.
And she's like, not that I didn't want to do it.
Right. Typical I don't want to kiss you line. Like, not that I didn't want to kiss you. I just ran out because I didn't want to kiss you.
And so then she's like, so.
I know. And then Adam's like, TTYL.
Thanks for the toys.
I'll see you at school. Bye. Slams the door.
You idiot. That was your $1 million shot right there.
I know, but the Transformers are way.
He's like, oh no, what have I done? I thought he was gonna run out and like grab her and like they would have like a big kiss to like some 80s song.
Yeah, and then back at the, I love this scene. So back at the office, Murray and Al are working side by side, and then Vic says it's a tough customer, and Murray's like, "Let's go get her, Al." And they walk out like a bunch of badasses ready to conquer this tough customer. Slow motion.
Yeah, like a last scene in like a Clint Eastwood film, like coming out with shotguns with like dusters. But also, unbelievably, Pop says, this computer is way better than Sheila's gams. Fuck, dude.
Al's in the future.
Pops couldn't slow it down.
He's going to look at Sheila's gams using this computer. That's what I think is going to happen. Anyway, we got our dedication. It's dedicated to Megatron.
To Megatron. That was odd.
And then we get this I love this. We get this home video footage, but we also get this shot-for-shot remake of it with Adam in the home footage. And I thought it's so well done. Good for Sean Jimbrone, who plays the Adam F. Goldberg.
Yeah, what a nerd that kid was, huh?
He's super successful now. He's got this really successful ABC show, The Goldbergs. And then we get a post-credit of Murray the Maniac, and he just can't act right.
Great. I love Murray the Maniac.
Yeah, I hope we see more of Murray the Maniac, but I don't think so. That was insane. Wait, I'm not insane. The prices are insane. You yelled action as I walked out. Like, it's just going so wrong for Murray the Maniac.
P-A-N. I thought he was going to go P-A-N-A-N-A-S. I thought he was going to go into the No Doubt. What's her name?
The Hall of That Girl by Gwen Stefani.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's rock by now.
I really want a straitjacket. I've always wanted one.
What was this cheap one he had that kept coming loose?
Yeah, like costume shop kind of.
And that was the episode. What'd you think?
Wasn't my favorite, but I think it might be more of a favorite later now that I started to make connections. Like I forgot about Pop's dementia.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that he had a 51%. Adam getting frisky. There was a lot of reveal I found in this. There were a couple times that I laughed out loud, like when Bevy's crazy person outfit when she's getting the toys. But it wasn't a lot of like last week was like bing bang bing bang bing bang bing bang flap 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 flap.
This is definitely one of those mythology building Goldbergs episodes. This really built the world. You know,
yes.
Dana Caldwell's back and Vic we get the great secondary characters. We learn a lot about Adam. We learn a lot about Pops and Murray. We get that like these characters are getting built a lot more, and I think that's really that.
It was expansive. It was expanding the universe of the Goldbergs a lot more, so that they could probably launch into other stuff and have more openings to do a lot more story.
The Goldberg cinematic universe.
Was there ever a Goldberg movie?
No, but Adam F. Goldberg made Fanboys.
What's that?
10, 15 years ago. It was a movie he made with Happy Madison about Dan Fogel was in it. Uncle Marv was in Fanboys. I think that's how they got to know each other. It's about these people who, in 1998, broke into Skywalker Ranch to see the rough cut of Phantom Menace. I know, I really want to see the movie. But I remember when it came out in theaters. And that was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
All right. We'll be back next week with Season 1, Episode 13, The Other Smother. I've been Reuben Wolf.
I've been Sean Gibbs. Is Episode 13 The Phantom Menace?
Nah, boo.
Boo, fanboy. All right.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.